Hello and welcome to Historical Humans Reads, where we take primary sources and bring them to your screen. I'm Colum Coleman, and today we are reading from King Harald's Saga by Snorri Sturluson. The King Harald Saga recounts the life of King Harald Hardrada, king of Norway from 1044 to 1066 CE, and the last of the great Viking kings. The saga focuses on his battles across Russia, Europe, and England. Hardrada's invasion of and death in England, which occurred only 3 weeks prior to that of William the Conqueror, is considered crucial to both the success of William's campaign in England and marks the beginning of the decline of Nordic power in Europe. Despite the many feats of Hardrada, his saga was originally published in 1230 CE only as part of a larger work, the Helmskringla, Sturluson's account of Iceland from ancient times up to 1177 CE. Today, we will be reading from the battle in Sicily through the battle at a third castle from King Harald's Saga by Snorri Sturluson. With that, let's begin. Now, when Harald came to Sicily, he plundered there also, and sat down with his army before a strong and populous castle. He surrounded the castle, but the walls were so thick there was no possibility of breaking into it, and the people of the castle had enough of provisions and all that was necessary for defense. Then Harald hit upon an expedient. He made his bird catchers catch the small birds which had their nests within the castle, but flew into the woods by day to get food for their young. He had small splinters of tarred wood bound upon the backs of the birds, smeared these over with wax and sulfur, and set fire to them. As soon as the birds were let loose, they all flew at once to the castle, to their young, and to their nests, which they had under the house roofs that were covered with reeds or straw. The fire from the birds seized upon the house roofs, and although each bird could only carry a small burden of fire, yet all at once there was a mighty flame, caused by so many birds carrying fire with them and spreading it widely among the house roofs. Thus, one house after the other was set on fire, until the castle itself was in flames. Then the people came out of the castle and begged for mercy. The same men who, for many days, had set a defiance at the Greek army and its leader, Harald granted life and safety to all who asked quarter, and made himself the master of the place. There was another castle before which Harald had come with his army. This castle was both full of people and so strong that there was no hope of breaking into it. The castle stood upon a flat, hard plain. Then Harald undertook to dig a passage from a place where a stream ran in a bed so deep that it could not be seen from the castle. They threw out all the earth into the stream to be carried away by the water. At this work they labored day and night and relieved each other in gangs, while the rest of the army went the whole day against the castle, where the castle people shot through their loopholes. They shot at each other all day in this way, and at night they slept on both sides. Now when Harald perceived that his underground passage was so long that it must be within the castle walls, he ordered his people to arm themselves. It was towards daybreak that they went into the passage. When they got to the end of it, they dug over their heads until they came upon stones laid in line, which was the floor of a stone hall. They broke open the floor and rose into the hall. There sat many of the castlemen eating and drinking, and not in the least expecting such uninvited wolves. For the Varings instantly attacked them, sword in hand, and killed some, and those who could get away fled. The Varings pursued them, and some seized the castle gate and opened it, so that the whole body of the army got in. The people of the castle fled, but many asked quarter from the troops, which was granted to all who surrendered. In this way, Harald got possession of the place, and found an immense booty in it. They came to a third castle, the greatest and strongest of them all, and also the richest in property and the fullest of people. Around this castle there were great ditches, so that it evidently could not be taken by the same device as the former. And they lay a long time before it without doing anything. When the castle men saw this, they became bolder, drew up their array on the castle walls, threw open the castle gates and shouted to the Varings, urging them and jeering at them, and telling them to come into the castle, and that they were no more fit for battle than so many poultry. Harold told his men to make as if they did not know what to do, or did not understand what was said. For, says he, if we do make an assault, we can effect nothing, as they can throw their weapons under their feet among us. And if we get into the castle with a party of our people, they have it in their power to shut them in, and shut out the others, for they have all the castle gates beset with men. We shall therefore show them the same scorn they show us, and let them see that we do not fear them. Our men shall go out upon the plain nearest to the castle, taking care, however, to keep out of bowshot. All our men shall go unarmed, and be playing with each other, so that the castle men may see that we do not regard them or their array. Thus it went on for some days, without anything being done. This has been an excerpt from King Harald's Saga on Historical Humans Reads. If you enjoyed this video, we would like to encourage you to check out a new launch of ours called Humanitarian Collections. It's a little online shop with artwork from various artists. Currently, it is by the LGBT artist Champ in support of the Trevor Project, a nonprofit dedicated to the prevention of suicide within the LGBTQ community. The merchandise that you purchase from us will have its proceeds donated to the Trevor Project. So we encourage you to please check out Humanitarian Collections or the Trevor Project itself. Links will be in the description of the video. Thank you for listening.